All right, Shalom, Malcolm. Just gonna start off by giving all praises and glory to you. How about Shim Yahweh Shabbat, Shim Kokodash, the bonus to the apostles of the millstone, who were and teachable, peace, to the Akim, pushing the true Shalom. I got this lesson going into Great Wrath, and this is it says bumbling Biden's, and this is by RT News. It says bumbling Biden's attempt to battle domestic terror seems doomed to end up targeting the wrong people. And I'm reading a little bit of this article, going into the how Biden, sent one of his administrators or one of his administrators, you know in his administration, to throw out a speech, to speak against those who are with this truth. So let's hop right into it. This says Joe Biden's administration has unveiled a plan to tackle domestic terrorism in the U.S., but with no definition of what is considered extremism and a desire to get the public to snitch on neighbors. There's potential chaos for there's potential for chaos. All right. So right there, you see that you know, Biden is trying to start his you know, really not. It's not Biden's plan, but it's it's Esau Edom's his plan. The elite's plan to get those who are with this truth, and basically that's who he's coming to you know that's who he's targeting, is those who are with this truth, mainly those who are here at Great Millstone, because we speak truth, the 100% truth, So, he's coming with, but he's also gonna come with those who are you know, those who speak against the system, anyone who comes across these videos or this truth, he's going to they're going to attack, you know. And I'm gonna read a little bit more. It says most Americans despise terrorists, both foreign and domestic, and the U.S. has experience of both. So when the Biden administration came forward with plans to combat domestic terrorism, one would reasonably have expected some rather standard practices and understanding of what they are looking for. So summing it all up, you know, um, usually, people, you know, like to, you know, when they come across the word terrorist or they come across terrorists, it's deemed as a threat, but we, as the elect, we're not terrorists, we just pushing this truth, you know, pushing the downfall of this, the downfall of this wicked kingdom, you know, um, preaching and teaching what's according to the laws, statutes, commandments, in the course of the Bible, you know, it's like it's like you know, how can we be deemed as terrorists when we're pushing righteousness, but meanwhile, the so-called white man is pushing wickedness, So, you know, that's where that's where they err at, and there's plenty of scriptures going into that. So let's get some scriptures going into that. This is Ezekiel 35, starting in verse 1. It says, "Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So they, since they hate the laws, statutes, commandments of the Lord, he's gonna send up prophets, which Yahweh Shemashah has done. He sent the prophets on them, preaching righteousness, and you know, and waking up the children of Israel, and speaking against the system, and bringing down his kingdom, and he's gonna and he's gonna give us those spiritual powers to to combat, their forces. All right, so let's get some more scriptures. This is Job 18, starting at verse 16. I'm gonna read a little bit down. It says, his roots shall be dried up beneath, and above all his and above shall his branches be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world. Right. So, you know, you know, the things he's pushing is going to be, the wicked things that he's pushing is going to be withered away. Like it says in Psalms, it says he should wither away like the grass. You know, you know, and he says in verse 18, it says he should be driven from light into darkness. So that's happening right now. He's it says he shall be driven from light into darkness. So, you know, you know, all the light that's being that has always been on him, is being turned into darkness. It says and chased out of this and chased out of the world. You know, so you know, um, his wickedness is going to be chased out of the world. You know, him and his wickedness is going to be chased out of the world. By the righteous. All right, so let's get some more scriptures. This is Job 5. Starting at verse 11. Job 5 and 11. And I'm going to jump down a couple verses. It says, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands perform their enterprise. He that taketh the wise in their own craftiness, in the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So, in verse 12 it says he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So, the jabs that they're, still pushing, and that you're not supposed to take. You're not supposed to take the jab. You're not supposed to take that Maxine. You're not supposed to take that. You have to refuse that, because that's against the law. You're not supposed to have anything no tattoos, no nothing, stuck into your body. But the so-called white man is all for it. Pushing madness and wickedness in the planet Earth. But he knows that, that we're the children of Israel. So, he's going to push that great wrath, So let's get some more scriptures. This is Micah 2. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. So they're pushing all these, these you know these these laws these laws and legislations, these unrighteous decrees, these pharmaceutical drugs, doing all sorts of types of wickedness, and they stealing lands, stealing resources out of people's countries, you know, without consent, and he's a madman. He's being a madman, you know, and it says and they covet fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away so they oppress a man in his house and even a man in his heritage. So they, going back to Job 9:24, they covered the faces of the judges thereof. They've put their faces on our images, you know and hid our our heritage from us, by putting their images on, the faces of the judges, which is the saints, and which is the our forefathers, and Yahweh Shema Shah, so let's get Obadiah 1 and verse 3, and this be the last scripture. And it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right. So, you know, um, the pride that Esau has, is going to be brought down one way or another, because their pride is, you know, is to another level, Their pride that they have, is against Yahweh Shema Shah. Yahweh Shema Shah hates pride. In Proverbs it says 6 things do I hate. It says 6 things do I hate. It says pride, proud, arrogant look. Just roughly paraphrasing. Because pride is a bad thing to have. You know, and pride leadeth to destruction. So by having that pride, they push, the mark of the beast. They push having the whole world and to see the world, to take the jab and to take the MOB, the MOTB, you know, and and that's going to be his downfall, But he's going to Yahweh's going to send Yahweh Shah back, to to conquer to conquer this nation, that's against us, that our enemies, our adversary. All right. But with that, I just want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem Hakadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone who were in teach well, peace to the Akim, person is true, Shalom.